Just want to let people know that none of us have kids.
So pag makikipag-relationship ba tayo, in kids na ba agad ang iniisip niya having kids with this person or no pa?
Kunyari, in the beginning, when Matt and I first started dating, I wasn't like, I'm gonna marry this guy. You know, kasi you have to think of things step by step eh.
The idea of having children only came to me when I was about to turn 30.
And I thought kids?
I thought I did.
Sa akin, make or break yun. Pag hindi ayaw mo magkaroon ng anak, hindi tayo para sa isa't isa.
I don't think it's a bad thing to not want to have kids.
You're free to choose whatever you want.
I think that my style of taking it day by day is because I am already thinking of the people that already exist in my life
Okay.
that I want to take care of.
Hey. Hi. Welcome back to another episode of POV, our darling VOPs. We're so happy that you could join us again today. My name is Inka Magnaye, and I am joined by my beautiful co-hosts.
Yes, hello. I am Aryn Cristobal.
Attorney Rodil. Attorney Anselmo pala.
Yeah. So you don't know nga who you are, no?
Yeah.
Sa promos natin. The joke lang. No, because today I wanted to get into something that I feel like it would be good for the three of us to discuss. And I just want to let people know that none of us have kids.
Nope.
Yep.
None of us here are parents. We're pet parents.
Yes.
Yes. Which I think makes us perfect candidates to discuss this one. Because I think before you become a parent, talking about it is important. You need to me, I think you need to figure out what kind of parent you want to be and how you're going to raise your kids. If you even want to be a parent is something that we need to discuss. So just wanted to set the tone to let people know where we're coming from. But of course, in this episode, we'll be discussing different angles. We want to explore different points of view. And we also want to know what you guys think. So feel free to post your comments down below. Now, would you say that at our age right now, you've matured in how you approach relationships?
Of course. I'm
Sana naman, no?
Yeah.
Nag-mature na tayo.
38 na ako. Sana naman.
Hey, you don't know that because there are a lot of people who are older than us who not mature at all.
That's true. That's true. But I think in my case, I've had a lot of practice. I've dated a lot. I've been in all kinds of relationships, nice, toxic, whatever. So, you know how they say practice makes perfect. I don't think I'm perfect, but I think that I've learned so many things on how to communicate at the very least. And that's very important because a lot of people just get into relationships without communicating their needs. And so it blows up much later in life.
Yeah.
Kayo ba, attorney?
Nag-iisip ako eh. Pero sa matured, siguro yung partner ko ngayon nagpa-mature sa akin.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Tandaan nyo, ang mga lalaki, magmamature yan kung mahal niya talaga yung girl. Hindi mo kailangang ipilit.
I like that.
Hindi mo kailangang ipilit. Magmamature yan kung feel niya na ikaw talaga yung long term.
No, that's true. That's true.
That's true.
Kasi I've seen so many posts where parang, why is it that I asked him for so many things pero sa next girl, he gave it so easily.
Yeah.
Yung mga ganon. You're just...
Naku, matataka na yung sprinkle na nakita ko na yun sa...
Si Shara.
Wait, who's that?
Sprinkle. Miss Shara. You don't know si Miss Shara?
No.
So there's a creator on TikTok. She's a very sassy black woman.
Oh, okay.
And her name is Shara7. And she always gives advice to girls about how if you're going to date a man, make sure that they can provide for you because, you know, you don't want no dusty man, sprinkle. Ganyan yung ano niya, yung
Dusty man.
formation.
Okay.
And of course, this is, I'm sure, coming from her experience na marami siyang mga dusty busties. So she has advice na ganon. That sometimes it makes sense and sometimes I laugh. Like,
I
it's
think
comedy.
It's case-to-case basis naman talaga when it comes to...
Ako kasi, hindi eh. Parang kung gusto kong bigyan at seryoso sa'yo, hindi mo kailangang gawa ng maneuvers or tricks to do that.
Totoo.
Pag mahal ka talaga, bibigyan ka eh.
True.
Totoo.
Let's not make it so complicated. It's not that complicated.
It's actually not.
It's not.
Diba? Once you stop playing games...
I think the 20s are for mind games.
Yan.
Or that's where you learn.
Yep.
that parang you learn that you don't like it.
Yes.
Diba? Na parang, oh shit, I have to go through all of that stuff. So parang, I guess we have matured then
Yes.
when you
Diba?
think about it, diba? After your 20s, attorney, did you have like a list or something
Okay,
na parang
I'm
ideal partner?
Still in my 20s.
Oo nga pala.
Turning 30 next year. So ako may listahan ako.
Okay.
May listahan talaga ako. Kasi may napansin ako na ayaw ko talaga. Kaya di ba yung sa matured, parang nung pagpasok ko, alam ko na kasi yung hinahanap ko. So ngayon, nung
That's so
nahanap ko
important.
na talagang ready na ako maging matured.
Yeah.
Ganun. Talagang magbabago yung mindset mo from happy-go-lucky to kailangan maging matuto ako mag-provide. Paano kaming magiging successful. Ganun na inisip. Mag-iiba talaga yung lalaki.
What was your list?
Ang listahan ko, unang-una, gusto ko, conservative values.
Okay.
First thing.
Yeah.
Kasi taga-province ako eh.
Mm.
Pangalawa, feminine.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's, when you say feminine, parang how do I
talk about being feminine? The very stereotype of
very girl.
Very girl.
Kikay. That's the word. Yun.
Ay.
Wag na tayo sa appearance. No? Yun ang sa akin dalawang requirement ko. And pangatlo, I like, kasi mahilig akong kumain. Kahit na mukha akong malnourished. Medyo payat ngayon.
Malnourished.
Payat ako ngayon. No?
Ang legs.
Ayun na naman. Hassle. 3 episodes na yung legs. Last episode, legs din. Ayun. Kaya mo, di pa ka na magpapalit, di pa ka na magpapantalon. Kaya mag-alala. Mahilig ako mag-shorts. So yun, I like someone who cooks well.
Ayun.
Hindi lang can cook, but magaling magluto.
Cooks well din.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. Do you have a list?
Do I have a list? After coming from my 20s, I saw that thing yung parang, when you come from a really bad relationship, you end up like really trying to figure out. Only if you're sick of it, ha? Kasi there are people who just keep the cycle of toxicity going.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because there's no awareness. So you're gonna end up falling into the same patterns, just so you know. But if you're sick of that, it's good to reflect and introspect, and that's how you figure out your list, right? So I kind of agree with, what's her name? Sprinkle. Shara, in a way where I don't want to date someone who can't provide. And I will rephrase that and say, I want to date someone who is just as driven as I am to make
Not
a
about
good life.
money. It's not about the money.
Yeah, it's about ambition and hard work and perseverance.
Yeah.
Okay? Because you know that thing where parang it's all over the internet where women tell other women, don't build up a man because he's going to leave you.
What I heard is, the more you do for a man, the more he loves himself. The more you do for yourself, the more
he
the man
loves.
will love you.
Oh, interesting. Because the thing about not building a man, I have a friend who did that before. Like,
Piniled up.
walang job yung guy, and she was the sole provider. She paid for the groceries, paid for his telephone bill. She bought the car, she paid the gas. Lahat. Siya yung main sole provider. And he ended up cheating on her and getting married to another person.
Wow.
So, parang
Nagamit siya.
Nagamit siya. So when he achieved a better life na, like, she was the one who invested in his business to start it up.
Wow.
Ganon. And then...
Iba kumita.
So that's what they mean. And apparently this happens all the time. So that's what they mean when they say don't build up a man. I feel like that's different from supporting your man.
Yeah.
Diba? Properly. So that's part of my list na parang I want, if I'm gonna support someone, because that's who I am, I'm fully supportive. If this is what you want to do, I want to see you succeed. But I need to see that you're just as driven as me because I don't want our life to be solely dependent on me. So that's part of my list. Yeah. What's part of yours?
Okay.
Madami to.
Okay.
Madami experience.
My list is guwapo at matangkad.
Yon!
Why is that my list?
Okay. Yun lang.
Guwapo at matangkad.
Yun lang.
At saka, mahal
May
ako.
abs.
my abs, at saka mahal ako, and is sincere.
Okay.
So I have dated all kinds of, like, I've dated rich guys who can provide. I've dated
You've
guys.
dated a femme, diba?
I've dated a femme. I've dated guys who are very driven and stuff like that. And one thing I noticed is, even if they have all these qualities, but then I am like just
Not attracted to them.
no. Like parang I
Turn
am
off?
not an important part. I'm not in like
Oh.
the top 5
Yeah,
of
yeah,
all
yeah.
of these things.
Yeah.
That's gonna
Sa buhay
come down.
nila?
Sa buhay
Ganun.
nila.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's always
I
like,
like that.
diba?
Yeah.
Parang I would like to be an important part of this person's life.
And even in small ways, like instead of my house, it's our house.
Yes.
Instead of parang my plan, it's our plan.
Yes.
Yung ganon. Gets.
Yes. So the reason why I say guwapo at matangkad is because if someone's gonna break your heart,
Yan.
pangit siya. Hindi
Yeah.
ba't mas
Embarrassing.
masakit yon na parang binigyan na nga kita ng chance.
I cried over you.
Yeah, I cried over you. So, my list is, if guwapo yung lalaki,
Yeah.
if he breaks your heart, you can say, well,
Pogi.
And then other people will see your ex and be like, okay.
Pogi.
yeah, diba,
Ganun.
diba?
Get.
As opposed to, ha?
Nagpaloko ka dyan?
He broke your heart? Ganon. No, but to be serious, I mean, that's in my list for real. But in
I mean,
all
same
seriousness,
naman.
yeah, in all seriousness, I would like to be an important part in this person's life, and I would like him
Yeah.
to show it to me.
Yeah, okay.
That's the only thing I really need on my list.
Yeah.
I don't really need anything else because I build myself up.
Whoa,
You know what I mean?
Love that.
And sabi ko,
Yeah, tama
if I
naman.
don't find someone that I like, I'm perfectly happy.
On my own.
On my own.
Yes.
Building myself, building my own little world.
Yes.
Nakasali ka dito if you wanna date me.
Yes.
Otherwise, I can be single. It's not gonna be like, sige ka, iwanan kita for another guy.
Yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah.
it's just,
Toxic yun.
Yeah.
diba? It's just, if it's not you, it's no one.
You know what I said to Matt in the beginning of our relationship? Like, in the start pa lang, I told him, look, I don't need you, okay?
Solid.
I need you to understand that I don't need you in my life. I won't depend on you, like, for all these basic things. But I don't say that to threaten you. I say that because I want you to know that you're in my life because I want you to be in my life.
Yes, you have been chosen.
Yeah, that's the difference. Like, I can survive on my own, but I want to share my success with you.
Yes.
And I want to do life with you. And I feel like that's...
Sinabi din sa akin.
Ding, ding, ding!
Yeah.
How did it make you feel?
Okay lang. Kasi ganun din naman ako eh.
Yun.
Ding, ding, ding!
Di ba?
Perfect.
Yeah. I feel like a mature relationship is something that you really need to consciously work on.
Yeah.
Especially in the
Yes.
beginning. And then after a while, it'll become parang second nature
Yes.
na lang.
Yes. And I believe that if you're going to get in a relationship and you want that to be serious, you have to work on that relationship first before moving on to anything
Yeah,
moving
To the next
forward
level.
to
Yep.
any next step, whatever
Totoo.
that step may be. This
Totoo.
has to be solid.
So
Yeah.
pag makikipag-relationship ba tayo, iniisip niya na agad, children na ba agad? Or kids na ba agad ang iniisip niya? Having kids with this person or no pa?
Ooh, you
or
know what?
we see what we get. Ganun muna kayo sa simula.
Ganito. I saw this thing online where, let me try to remember the quote accurately because it hit me so well. Na parang something about what kind of father would you want to give your child?
Ayun.
Okay. That's
Oh.
beautiful.
Diba? Parang think about if the person you're dating now, would you want your child to have that kind of father?
Good question.
So I think from the beginning, I don't know if it's the same for guys or for other girls, but for me, that's what I thought about na parang moving forward in my more mature relationship kind of mindset.
Okay.
So like, even if, kunyari, in the beginning, when Matt and I first started dating, I wasn't like, I'm gonna marry this guy, you know, kasi you have to think of things step by step eh. You can't jump into it immediately. You need to think about it first. You need to really dissect and see if this person is a good fit for you. And then that's one of the first things I think of, na parang, will Matt be the kind of father that is going to be a good father?
Okay.
So that's, kasi if you're a good father, that means you're a good person eh. Diba?
Yeah.
Doesn't automatically mean that I want him to father my child. I guess now,
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah.
But in the beginning, when I hardly knew him, but I think that's
How can you
something-
tell? Di ba
Yes.
yun din naman?
Yes. So that's one of the things that I kept in mind.
So ikaw, guhuli ako kasi perspective ng lalaki sasabihin ko.
Oh, go,
Pag sa
go,
ganyan.
go,
Ikaw
yeah,
muna
yeah.
Aryn.
Sige.
When you date,
Do I think about stuff like that?
Yep.
Personally, no, I don't. I'm a very step by step, let's take it day per day kind of person. And also the idea of having children only came to me when I was about to turn 30.
okay.
And
you
I
want to have
thought
kids?
I thought I did. So in my late 20s, kating-kate ako na parang, you know what? I want to have a child. I want to have a child.
Kating-kate.
Magkaanak.
Okay.
Magkaanak. So I thought about it and I really wanted it and blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
And then my friends started having children.
Okay.
And then I would hang around them. And then I realized, oh,
You don't
this
like
is
it.
not the lifestyle that I want.
Okay.
Especially considering
okay.
that I know I want to support my parents at some point.
Okay.
I want to do that with ease without thinking of, eto, may isa pa dito. Oh my God, I have to
Yeah.
take care of my parents. And this crying thing here beside me, may tuition pa to, may medical bills pa to. My parents also have medical bills because they're getting older. So I think that my style of taking it day by day is because I am already thinking of the people that already exist in my life
Okay.
that I want to take care of.
I have a question and you
Yeah.
can choose to
Sige.
answer it or not. If you didn't have to think about supporting your parents,
Good question.
would you want to have a child, do you think?
I also am not sure because, again, hanging around my friends with kids,
Stress? Na-stress sila.
yeah, kapag sumisig, Tita, look at me! Look, I can do this! What? Wow, galing! Anyway, Tita!
That's so funny. How about you,
Okay. So di ba may kaibigan kasabi mo na bigla na lang nagkaroon ng asawa?
Yes.
Ang lalaki, sa simula pa lang, alam niya na kung ito yung aasawahin niya candidate o hindi. Yan ang totoo. Ang lalaki, alam na agad kung itong girl na to,
Ay,
pang
for
serious.
practice or
Hindi ako nagsabi nun.
practice relationship.
Yeah.
Di ba may ganun
For
eh.
fun or for serious.
Yes.
So pag naisip ng lalaki na dito ka nakahani sa serious, nag-iisip na yan, baka papakasalan ko to. Ganun. Yan ang totoo. Kaya ang lalaki, kung seryoso talaga
All
sa'yo,
guys?
sa akin ang sa akin kasi ganito, hindi naman sinasabi na magpo-propose ka na. Pero sa isip ng lalaki,
Nandun na.
nagpa-plan na yan. Nako, paano yung engagement ring? Kailan ko ibibigay? Kailangan mag-ipon ko para dito, and so on and so forth. Simula pa lang, probably 3, 4, 5 months in, nakahanay na yun, alam mo kung saan ka. Alam na nung guy kung saan ito ilulugar. Pang really serious? Or doon tayo sa, Kaya may nakikita ka na matagal na hindi pa rin nagiging together. Well, kasi probably yung guy kailangan pa ng panahon para makapag-prepare. Pero dapat even before ang sinasabi ko, 1 year in pa lang kayo, medyo nababanggit na yung topic. Hindi siya yung parang, alam mo yung parang devil na hindi talaga maano dun sa topic na let's not talk about it. Hindi, pag ganun ang sa akin, pag ganun nangyayari, medyo I don't like that much. Pag ganun. Kasi kahit we just talk about it, di ko naman sinasabing luluhod ako eh. Diba?
Yeah.
Like in my case, parang 1 year in, dapat bibidahan na yan. Pero nakapag-propose lang ako nung 7 years na kami kasi nung lang ako naging ready.
Talaga? 7 years?
7 years kami,
Okay.
2023. Kaya ako nakapag-propose ito kasi ready na ako talaga.
Ready ka na.
Kasi naging lawyer na ako eh. Pero nasa law school pa lang kami, sinasabi ko na. At alam
talaga,
ko
you were
din,
saying.
alam ko din na meron talaga na
How did you say it?
Na?
When you guys were still in law school, na hindi ka pa nagpo-propose, how are you saying?
Pinaplano na. Paano? Pangalan ng anak natin? Yung mga ganun tanong lang. Paano? Kasi ganito, ang mga babae, ititik mo ba apelido ko? Yung mga ganun bagay. Hindi ko sinasabing mag-prepare tayo ilan magiging anak natin, hindi ganun. Pero nababanggit yung mga topics along family. Like yan. Ako gusto ko D5th. Kahit wag mong kunin ang apelido ko, pero dapat yung lalaki, Anselmo D5th ang pangalan. Ganon. Seryoso yung lalaki sa'yo pag ganun. Alam na nun agad, simula pa lang. Kaya nagugulat kayo biglang, 6 years di sila naging mag-asawa. Ito, 5 months pa lang naging sila.
Yeah.
Na-qualify yung second na yon. Yun
Interesting.
ang para sa akin. Para lang sa akin, yun ang Kaya gusto kong mahuli ako. Yun ang sa lalaki.
Case to case.
Yeah. And I don't, for the girls watching now na parang you feel like, nako, di pa nagano yung boyfriend ko again. It's not you per se. It's what the guy is looking for. Diba? So parang sometimes you're just not compatible.
Yep.
And I think it's easier when you accept that.
Yeah.
Diba? Na parang, that just means there's someone else who's better suited for you. Not a better person usually, but more like parang mas bagay talaga sa'yo. Mas magja-jive.
Ako naman kasi, mabait akong, pinuri sarili. Mabait akong tao kapag di ko type, hindi ko talaga tinutuloy.
That's good.
That's good.
Date, stop na. Hindi ko tinutuloy. Kasi I'm
you
dating.
don't want to waste time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hindi ako for fun. Akala ko sarili ko, kaya ko yung mga gano'n na party boys. Na date for fun. Hindi ko kaya.
Hindi ko
Date
rin
for
kaya yung
relationship.
ganon.
I did it.
Tingnan mo?
Yeah.
Lived a full life, no regrets.
Yeah. I never wanted to date around. Like, I was, diba?
Parang akala ko kaya ko. Hindi ko pala kaya na konsensya ako eh.
Yeah. I thought I wanted to also. Like, I'd do the whole like parang, like,
Fun.
I'll hook up with this guy.
Yeah.
I'll make out with this guy.
Yeah.
I'll ganon. Di ko pala kaya. Like, going to a party and then flirting with one guy and then flirting with another. Parang it wasn't in me. I think it's really just, you want that or you don't.
Yeah.
Diba?
Kanya-kanya siya.
Kanya-kanya talaga siya. Which is why I think it's so important to find someone that you're compatible with, that you can build compatibility with. Because according to the Gottmans, which I've mentioned here before, compatibility in the beginning is really not that important as long as you know that you can build compatibility together as you go forward, especially when you want to carry it on to the next level. Like, for example, I have a friend, like friend talaga. Na kilala ko na they broke up with their partner because their partner wanted kids and this one didn't.
That's important.
Yeah.
That's important.
Sa akin, make or break yun.
Yeah, that's true.
Pagkakaroon ng anak. Pag hindi ayaw mo magkaroon ng anak, di tayo para sa isa't isa.
Oo, kasi not delikado, but it's such a hard decision when to make parang when you're right
already,
there.
Yeah.
Go ba? Do you
What
see
I
yourself?
like about my partner is that both of us were party people. So we understand.
Tugstog sila.
Oo.
Tugstog.
Yung dami niyang dinate. Dami kong dinate. So there is no, you know how some people are like, how many people have you dated? Oh, dami naman. Blah, blah, blah. For both of us, it's like, how many have you dated? Nice. Good practice. Good practice. Ganun kami. And we have the same.
Compatible kayo.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was compatibility in the beginning because we both went into it just wanting to have fun. And then when we saw na parang, oh wow, parang pareho tayo ng values and pareho tayo ng the way we are open-minded and progressive.
Yes.
It's the same.
You guys are very similar.
Yes. So
Agreed.
after we saw that, we were like, oh, this is nice. Parang someone who kind of agrees with my
Viewpoints.
points of, my viewpoints and stuff like that. Because I had exes na parang, ang dami niyang dinate. You dated so many guys. I only dated this many guys. I'm like, I don't care, but they care.
Yeah.
So even just that compatibility for me was such a big deal for my current
So
partner.
napag-usapan niyo ba yung mga kids or having kids?
I think we both agreed, especially like not in the next 5 years. Not even.
Okay.
It's not in our. Parang kung mangyari that we change our mind, both of us are in a no right now.
Okay.
But if we change our mind,
Yeah.
then maybe.
Yeah.
But not right now.
Not
How about
not
Inka?
any time near.
Me and Matt are parang we both agree also na not right now.
Okay.
But definitely in the future. Parang more ganon na parang when we're older na talaga and when it's time. Because right now, hindi talaga kami ready. But it's in the future. Like when I heard him say na parang, yan, pag magkaanak na tayo, ako,
Saka di ba binibidas, sabi ko sa'yo. Di ba binabanggit sa'yo. So that means seryoso sa'yo.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Ako naman kasi next year or next year napag-usapan na namin.
Wow.
Dalawa nga din gusto nila
Oo nga
di ba?
eh.
Dalawa.
Like it is planned.
May manghuhula and a friend of mine who can also see, she told me, you're gonna have 2 kids. And then the manghuhula said, 2.
Di ba?
So I guess it's 2.
Ayun.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, there.
Ayan, ako pala mas ako dito. Planado ni akin.
Oo,
na
kasi
wala akong anak.
when you talk about having kids, so like I mentioned in the beginning na this really needs to be talked about. Kasi I don't know, it happens sometimes talaga na bigla ka na lang mabubuntis. Of
Di planado,
course.
yeah.
Yeah. But I think parenthood is no joke.
It's work.
It's work. It's a lifelong commitment. I hear from so many, like social media has made it more accessible to get a peek into motherhood and parenthood in general and fatherhood. Na you already can form an opinion na parang you already know what it's going to be like more or less. So you need to think about it and be informed.
Yes.
Right? Are you ready for that?
Yeah. Ready na ako. Ako talagang sa akin, sa lalaki kasi financial talaga, readiness ang ko. Kasi mentally matagal na akong ready.
Oh, wow.
That's cute.
That's
I
Tagal
love
na.
that.
That's nice.
Oo.
Kasi I want to continue my name. Selmo D5. Anselmo 5. Sana lalaki. Ako.
Part 5.
Biglang 5, 6, 7, 8. My boots could
Drive me crazy, my... Anyway. Wait, so you 2 kids, diba?
Yeah.
So you're gonna be 5 and 6? Ganun ba
Hindi,
yan?
bawal yun. Masamado yan sa kasabihan. Dapat each
Really?
generation isa lang yung Roman numeral. So bawal yung 5, 6 pero magkapatid. Dapat 5th. Apo ko na yung 6th.
So what if your second feels like may favoritism ka sa...
So may Anselmo
Ganun.
5 tapos may George.
Hindi, ang ginawa ng magulang ko, iba ang variation naman ng Anselmo. Ansel naman yung next ko. Lalaki din eh. Anselmo ko default, Ansel naman yung next.
Okay.
Pero syempre, ako sa akin na naon eh. So ako si default. Yun. So sa akin, yun. Ang reason ko lang naman, ba't wala pa kaming anak? Well, kasi hindi pa ako ready magpakasal.
Yes.
Before. Kasi, yun nga, financial lang sa akin eh. So, yung potential reason, bakit matagal ko naman ang gusto. Pero di ako like pag nakita ko ng niece ko, nephews, tutuwa na ako eh. Nagkakaroon ng ganung mindset eh, pag ready ka na.
Yeah. I think I can...
Tayo din. Ganun. Sana may ganun.
Yeah. I can deal with kids. Like what you were saying kanina na parang, Tita Aryn, look at me, ganyan, look what I can do, ganyan. Like I said naman kanina, not right now, diba?
Yes,
But
yes,
I know I can be in the future. So like, what are other potential reasons why you wouldn't want to have kids?
Me personally,
Yeah.
it's a lot actually. I feel like I love my career so much that, and I know that parenthood will take you away from that,
Tama
even
yan.
for just a few years, right?
Tama yun.
yeah.
It's happened with people in Spit who have children, like they have to take a year off and stuff like that.
Lalo na for women.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Tama naman yun.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the sorry to
Go ahead.
jump in. I hear that paternity leave here in the Philippines
maiksi
is
yun.
only 7 days.
Mas maiksi, yeah.
What?
7 days
Yeah,
lang.
dude.
Parang if
Okay.
I memory, 105 ata pag maternity.
Yeah, my friend kasi his partner just gave birth, and he is gutted to know that he can't be there by his partner's side as she takes care of their kid.
And this is
Saka,
also very
for paternity leave,
systemically misogynistic na yung babae lang dapat yung mag-aalaga eh.
saka ang paternity leave, limited lang pag asawa mo yung babae. Pag mag-live-in lang kayo, walang paternity leave.
What?
Or syempre, pag kabit, walang paternity. Pero pag live-in kayo, wala ding paternity leave.
Wow.
Married dapat. Pero pag women, syempre, it doesn't matter.
Oo.
Live-in or hindi, 105 days.
You know my friend who lives in Serbia, when she gave birth, there was like a midwife, there's a doctor, there's parang giving birth is free, everything is subsidized. When you go home, there's a midwife that goes to your house every day to help you with a motherly duty. She teaches you how to do this and that and all that stuff. Everything is supported. She didn't have a hard time with her first. So she was like, I want to have another one.
Yeah.
Because it was so easy. Because they're subsidized and supported by the government. And there was paternity leave also. So parang when you think about it, it's really not, parang, again, it's not a light decision to make. Na parang, that's why I don't know, like in our last episode, diba, we're gonna have like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 kids. Kasi isa doon magiging
breadwinner.
Na parang, oh my God, it's not like you're just adopting pets off the street. It's a life. That's
and
why
it takes a toll on your body.
Yeah.
Parang
Super.
hindi nila iniisip yun.
Super.
There's postpartum. There's all these stories like the Brooke Shields.
Brooke Shields. Yeah.
She got famous for writing a book about postpartum depression. And one of the things that she remembers feeling is gusto niyang ibato yung baby.
Ay.
On the window sa sobrang depressed, sobrang like overwhelmed with emotions. And she couldn't talk to anyone about it. She felt like a bad
like
person.
the worst person in the world.
Because
Kasi anak niya
and postpartum was never talked about. So feeling niya, ang sama naman ng feelings ko, sama akong tao, I want to throw my baby.
Yeah.
But it's very common daw.
Yeah, social media is actually giving us a look
A
into
glimpse.
a glimpse into what it's like, and so many people are sharing online now. That's why they're finding community in being able to talk about these experiences. Now let's go to the question: is it selfless or selfish if you choose not to have kids?
That is a very hot topic on the internet.
I think it's smart. I don't think it has anything to do with being selfless or selfish. Whatever your reasons are, if you choose to not have kids, number one, you're not contributing to overpopulation, right? There are so many orphans in the world.
And I have been so caught up in the news now about like Hollywood and child trafficking.
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
Do you want to bring kids into a world that has that?
So I think it's
scary.
Diba? Like who was one of those people? Seth Rogen.
Yes.
Seth Rogen.
Rogen.
Seth Rogen.
Yep.
He was quoted to saying that I don't want to have kids. I just want to smoke and drink and like relax and live my life, whatever. It's not verbatim, but he said something along those lines, right? And people were attacking him.
Yeah.
How dare you, selfish, lazy, blah, blah. Why are you projecting all of these things to someone who has decidedly said that they don't want to have kids, they don't want to be a parent? If you force someone who does not want to be a parent to become a parent, kawawa yung kid.
Correct.
Diba?
Mas lalong kawawa.
Because they can feel that.
Yeah.
Na ayaw naman ni tata yung ayaw ni daddy sa akin.
Oo.
Ni mami sa akin.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I don't think it's a bad thing to not want to have kids. I mean,
It's just an exercise of your freedom.
Yes.
It's just an exercise. You're free to choose whatever you want.
yeah.
Correct.
I feel like there are people naman din who have tons and tons of kids, but they didn't necessarily want to have them, but they just have parang no access to things like contraceptives or reproductive health information.
Yeah.
Right?
That's still a big problem here.
Oo.
People being uninformed. Puro first wives tales.
I am teenage pregnancy ako.
Yung.
Yeah.
17. 17 yung parents ko nung nanganak.
Yeah.
And
Mami.
people still view contraceptives here in the Philippines as a bad thing.
Weird.
Yeah. Because parang they keep talking about, well, if you don't want to have sex, if you don't want to have kids, then don't
Abstain.
have sex. You have
Correct.
to abstain, blah, blah, blah. Because they keep talking about like the Bible. But realistically, guys.
That's the conservative viewpoint. Yung,
Yeah. But I think the people who say, if you don't want to have kids, then don't have sex, I think for you to advocate or talk about, or like to tell people to not have sex, I think you should not have sex.
Yeah. Diba?
I mean, just looking at it realistically, right? Parang you obviously can't control people through that. So stop suggesting that.
Yeah.
Diba?
Just make things easier so that you can prevent any accidents from happening. If you don't
Yeah.
want to have a child, but you know, kating-kati ka, there are ways to go about that so that you don't
Yes.
have a child.
Yes.
And it's not even just about having children, like the LGBT community.
It's protection.
It's protection
Yes.
from sickness. Like
Yes.
you cannot guarantee that if you
Tama
sleep
naman.
with somebody that
They're
you
clean.
you won't get anything. So
Yeah.
just that information, basic information is very important.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a basic right.
Yes, absolutely.
Hindi, saka kung magkakaanak eh.
Yeah.
Bigyan mo lang sila ng options na okay, may contraceptive. Di ba? So ngayon, kung choice nyo talaga na unprotected, edi kayo na bahala sa consequences nun, di ba? Pero you need to give them the option para kahit paano kumonte yung unplanned. Hindi naman mawawala, magkaka-unplanned talaga.
Totoo.
You just need to minimize it. That's why reproductive health, yung mga knowledge na ganyan, nandyan ngayon sa atin.
Very important.
Yeah. Yung RH bill na yan.
Yeah,
oh my
right?
God, that was such a big issue. What year was
It's now
that?
It's now
There
alo.
you go.
It's
RH
alo,
mo.
matagal na siya. Ano siya? Reproductive Health and Responsible Parenthood Act. That's the name.
Can you tell us about that?
Okay, so doon kasi dinifferentiate ano pagkakaiba ng abortive at saka contraceptive.
Oh.
Totally different.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, contraceptive is legal, abortive is illegal. Kasi nga abortion, talagang hard pass tayong Pilipinas doon. Wala talaga bawal ng
So
abortion.
it's illegal here.
Illegal ang abortion. Taas ang penalty. I forgot lang kung ano yung penalty for it. Pataas. Okay, so ang contraceptive pwede. Ano ba kasi ang ginagawa ng contraceptive? Ang contraceptive, pinipigilan na mag-meet yung egg at saka yung sperm. Kung yun ang ginagawa ng contraceptive, that is legal. Kasi wala pong nabuong bata. Pero pag nabuo na yung bata, naging conceived na yung child, protected na siya ng state. You cannot i-flush, hindi mo pwede i-flush yun. That is already abortion. So sabihin natin, you prevent the egg and the sperm from meeting, like condoms.
Yeah.
That is legal.
The pill.
And the pill. Pero pag halimbawa, yung pampalaglag na ininom. Kasi nag-meet na yung egg.
morning after pill, ganon.
I don't know kung ano yung morning after pill.
The morning after is just pagkatapos mo mag-sex. The next day, if you realize, walang protection, you can take it.
To make
Okay.
sure nothing develops.
Yeah.
Okay, so the specific...
It delays ovulation.
Delays ovulation.
delays. O, di yun, di ba?
Yeah. So legal yun.
Yes. Kasi wag lang yung pag nabuo na, alam nyo na yung nabuo na, zygote, that's the word. Zygote na, tapos ipa-flash pa natin. Yun na yung illegal.
Gets.
Abortifacient or abortive na yun.
Okay.
Settled na yan. Like, nakalagay na sa batas natin yun. So, we know how to differentiate the two. O yun. So, speaking of
Right.
abortion,
Yeah, that's still not legal here in the Philippines. But, oh my God, I'm going to have to tread lightly here.
Yeah, this is very
touchy. I personally would not want to get rid of anything that forms in here. Like I said, I'm planning for that. I would like to have that in the future. But let's say, oh my God, this is so hard to talk about also. Kasi,
you want me to Ako, I have a hard viewpoint dito eh.
okay, go.
Okay, ako kasi, hard pass ako talaga no sa abortion. Okay? Pero ngayon may mga exceptions dyan.
Yun, I want to talk
Okay.
about the exceptions.
Kasi tandaan natin, magiging convicted ka for abortion if you may intention ka talaga na patayin yung bata. Pero sabihin natin, life of the mother versus life of the child. It's the first thing. Wala eh. Ngayon kasi syempre nasa kamay ng doktor yan. Di ba? He has to do his best para ma-save both. Pero pag hindi, we cannot fault the doctor kung yun na yung magiging preferred, right?
Yeah.
Okay yun.
Yeah.
Ngayon ito, wala itong dalawa na to. Yung in case of incest at saka in case of rape, hindi pa siya factored in sa batas natin.
Why?
Hindi pa siya kasali. Nasasabihin natin, na-rape ang isang babae, naging buntis. Wala pong nakalagay sa law natin na paano pag inilaglag yung bata, magiging convicted ba o hindi yung babae. Sa law natin ngayon, makakonvict pa.
I think
sucks.
it should be.
Wala pa siya. Yun. So yun sa atin. Kasi tandaan natin yung law natin, 1935 pa ata. 1930s pa siya.
Okay.
Uso pa grooming nun eh.
Inanak. Yun.
You know what though? I think people qualify, because I already hear the arguments na parang, kung pwede, kunyari, na-rape na yung babae. Also, trigger warning, we're so sorry.
Yes.
Kunwari, na rape yung babae and then she wants to get rid of it. Obviously, because you don't want to be carrying the child of some stranger who forced themselves on you.
Who assaulted you.
Diba? That's a horrible memory. And you don't want to have a child grow up knowing that it was a product of that.
Tama naman yun. Hindi niya magugustuhan yung bata.
Diba? So, knowing that, diba? That sounds like a reasonable reason.
Exception.
Yeah, a reasonable exception to have an abortion done. But I can hear people already saying, oh, so paano yan? Anyone can just say that they were raped just to have it taken out again.
Hindi, pero di makakasuhan. Di patunayan natin.
Oh,
diba?
that's so, I can already see this is so traumatic for
Yeah.
the girl.
Kasi ganito, general rule talaga, para sa akin, okay na prohibited. Pero sana may mga exceptions like life of the mother.
Dapat
diba?
may exceptions talaga.
Abortion nga, 3 sa akin, saka incest. Kasi,
Yeah.
di ba? Pero yun,
Because that could affect the child.
alam na, incest, di ba? May genetics.
Defects.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yun. So, pero yun nga,
But
actually ngayon, nabanggit ko na rin last episode. Actually, pag yung rape victim, napakasal na nung rapist. Nabanggit ko na to
Oo
last
nga.
time, di ba? Wala nang criminal liability yung rapist. That's the law.
We actually have a video right now because something just went down in Wisconsin,
Okay.
in the US. And I want to, because I've seen this, I want you guys to watch this first and then we can talk about it after.
Okay.
What you are asking this court to do is to sign the death warrants of women and children and pregnant people in this state. Because under your interpretation, they could all be denied life-saving medical care while the medical professionals who are charged with taking care of them are forced to sit idly by. This is the world gone mad. I don't understand how that is not the crime here. The case of Josely Barnica, who went into premature labor at 17 weeks. That is, her water broke. There was a fetal heartbeat, but her fetus was not yet viable. This happened in Texas. She suffered an infection that killed her because medical providers were unwilling or unable to give her the health care that she needed. And all she could do for 40 hours was pray that someone would help her so she could go home to her young child, and she died. That is a scenario that could easily, and perhaps has easily, played out here in Wisconsin under your interpretation of 94004, couldn't it?
I'm not sure, Justice Karofsky. I'm not a doctor, and I would say that the interpretation of 94004 that we're positing is the legislature's judgment as to what the law should be. I would like to circle back,
No,
though.
hold on, I'm not done.
Yeah.
I can't think of anyone else other than pregnant people who are denied medical care under the law. Can you?
I certainly think that, for example, the FDA regulates particular types of medical treatment that are provided to people. I don't think that the notion of the government restricting a medical procedure is new, but I also think that there's a long-established history in this state of prohibiting abortion.
Okay.
There's an extension of that also where the judge, I love her by the way, she was really, I wish I could have gotten a clip of that
Can you explain
too.
the whole video nga for me?
Basically, they're arguing there in the state, actually in the US, whether to allow abortion or not.
Okay.
They think that abortion should be made legal.
Okay.
No exceptions, it just should be a medical procedure that should be made available for whoever needs it. Doesn't matter what they use it for, because whatever someone uses it for is their business.
Okay.
So they think that it should be available, especially for those who need it in those cases, like that mother who died. And the judge was also talking about how, let's say, yun nga, a woman was raped and she wanted to have that product of rape removed from her body.
Okay.
That woman, under that new law, would be charged criminally and would be sent to jail for 15 years, while the man who raped her would only be charged and sent to jail for 6. So,
Okay.
parang the argument there is, she's like, if a woman wanted to get rid of the remnants of her rape,
Traumatic experience.
of her traumatic experience, she would be sent to jail far longer than the man who attacked her.
Yeah.
So it's such a mess there in the US now, and they bring up so many interesting points. Because again, abortions will happen whether they're legal or not. There's it's illegal here, but it happens.
Yep.
This is going to be disturbing, letting you guys know now. But I know someone who had kasambahay who got pregnant
Yung kasambahay na...
Nabuntis yung kasambahay nila. Nabuntis yung kasambahay nila. And of course, hindi kaya ng kasambahay nila kasi parang she was supporting her whole family pa. And she didn't know anything about reproductive health. Hindi niya alam na mabubuntis siya.
Okay.
She wire hangered herself. And she almost died. So, it's going to happen whether it's legal or not. So, the topic of abortion is such a difficult thing to tackle because it's a moral thing.
Yeah.
It deals with life. So right now, where I am, I really don't want to speak for other people.
Yeah.
All I can speak for is myself, where I say, I don't like it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to impose what I like or don't like to someone else, let alone judge them for it.
That's true too.
If I know, let's say I have a friend who had an abortion, I will not be like, oh my God, what an awful person. I'm just going to be like,
I hope you're okay.
Yeah. That's such a, women don't go get an abortion like it's a whim.
I know. It's
Diba?
not like
It's not like
It's not like what do you call it? Diamond peel. Hindi siya ganon, 'di ba? Hindi siya ganon.
Hindi siya ganon.
Like it's actually a very invasive procedure. I have a friend.
Life-threatening, yeah.
I have a friend who's an OB-GYN and she told me about RASPA, where it's a procedure. I mean, it's a longer word. I just know it as RASPA because she calls it RASPA. But basically, to clean out, let's say you have a miscarriage or an abortion or whatever, the way you clean out the insides of the womb, there's a lot of scraping that happens. It's very invasive. So if people think that legalizing abortions means that women are gonna get it like diamond peels. Hindi yun mangyayari.
How it goes.
Hindi yun mangyayari. So,
and I've read it from other women who've had abortions. Yung mga accounts on Reddit, ganon. Like, even if they never wanted the child, even if they wanted the abortion because they don't want to be a mother, it's still traumatic for them because they know that it's a life.
Yeah.
They cry about it still. It's not an easy decision to make. You know what I mean? So it's, but I feel like people have this wrong impression where if they make it legal, that means women all over the world will rejoice because now it's going to be so easy.
yay, I'm gonna be scraped. I'm gonna scrape myself.
It's not. It's still going to be traumatic.
Yeah.
So it's really hard.
It's hard. I feel like also just like you, I can't really speak for other people.
Diba?
But I'll respect your choice. Unless you say something like, yeah, nagpa-abort ako kanina, tapos bukas ulit, session 2.
I'll judge you for
Yeah,
that.
I'll judge you for that. Right? But more likely than not, if you have an abortion, it's
really
going
none
to
of
be
my business.
It's none of your business, and it's a decision that you had to really wrestle with.
Oh. Like getting your nose done.
Yeah.
You have to wrestle with that too.
Correct.
Diba? Like getting any procedure done is a wrestle with yourself.
Correct.
I feel.
Correct.
Lang ko kasi, I'm just happy hindi ako inabort eh.
True.
Yeah.
Kasi
So
teenage pregnancy ako eh.
Yeah.
Teenage pregnancy.
no, I was unplanned though.
I was also unplanned. So,
Yay!
Yun. Ako guys, dito, sabi kasi nyo, conservative ang mindset ko dito. Sa
And that's fine. That's
yeah,
fine.
It's fine. I mean, it's majority, I would say.
Yeah.
Majority is
Pero
conservative.
I'm open to exceptions. Kasi
Yeah.
ang sa akin, pag ganung remedy, para sa akin, di ba yung, pag sa akin yung gano'n na, kay tinakil ni judge, ni justice pala.
Yeah.
The remedy is to make exceptions.
Yeah.
But you don't go away from the general rule.
But the need for abortions will go down if people just focused and destigmatized and de-villainized and educated people about contraceptives.
Yes.
Prevention is the best cure. Diba?
Yeah,
correct.
It's the prevention.
Correct. If you just prevent things from happening, like I remember before I would, let's say I'll buy condoms in like a 7-Eleven or something like that. And then the
Tatawa.
people behind the counter
There's judgment. Yeah, there's judgment.
Yeah, may judgment.
I'm not gonna say it. But diba?
Yeah.
Parang, it number one, it's none of your business. Number two, buti they're being safe about it.
Correct.
Diba? Ano, would you rather they get pregnant, and then want to get rid of it? But what's the...
You're gonna get judged either way.
Yes.
Yeah. So might as well protect yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Educate yourself. We're in the age of information nowadays. It is your fault if you don't do your research.
Yes. And there are so many websites now that I've personally been working with. There are websites, there are products, there are clinics that are catered to women who are afraid to go to traditional doctors in hospitals. So,
Kasi baka ma-judge sila
ma-judge
doon.
sila. So the newer doctors, the younger doctors, right? They're coming out with all these websites that there's even a website now that you can take a quiz to see what contraceptive is for me.
Wow.
Mga ganyan. Tapos clinics that really, you can book and then they promise a doctor who will talk to you with no judgment. So at least times are changing.
Pag nag-marriage seminar kayo,
Ayun, lahat yan.
tuturo lahat.
Yan.
Really?
Tinuturo yan.
May quiz pa.
Kung may marriage seminar.
99% probability na hindi kayo mabubuntis. May mga ganon.
Wow.
Eto 95. May mga ganon.
Who are the ones who do the seminars?
Nagpunta kami ng ospital. Parang accredited eh. Tapos doon may mga would-be couples, would-be spouses.
Yes.
Doon, nanood na. Ganito po, pag ito ginamit nyo yung nagka-count, yung pag sa, ang tawag doon, yung stage nung
Yung days ng ovulation.
stage. O to guys, pag tumama kayo dyan, 98%. Ganon. May mga ganon stats. O ngayon, pag combine ninyo, para lalo kayong hindi... Tapos may isa pa yung bago, yung nilalagay na parang ganon. Sa loob.
IUD.
Yun,
I have those.
Sabi ko ganon.
Yes. When they put it.
Tapos taon daw yan. Parang 5 years.
Yeah.
10.
Oh, yan, 10. Something like that. 10 years, something like that.
So I'm covered until, let's say, kung gusto ko, fine.
Love it. Kailangan ka magpapa-tune up.
Tune up? Feeling ko nga
Good.
feeling ko kung
PMS.
ayaw ko, I will keep it there until menopause. Kung ayaw ko.
So it's not something that has to be changed out.
Matagal daw. Parang isang deka, tama ka 10. Naging conservative. 10
You just
years
need to have it checked like every year.
Right.
Tapos
Interesting.
may isa pang mas matindi, yung dito. Parang may
may injected
May isa pa yun.
thingy
Hormones.
dito.
Yun ang
Hormones.
medyo takot ako because
That's
I'm
hormones.
already
Tapos
a little crazy.
may vasectomy din. Pero
Yes.
ayun.
I'm so glad you brought this up. Okay, thank you for reminding me. What do you think about vasectomies?
I'm not gonna hindi ko papa...
Not gonna may
I'm not gonna allow
doesn't even wanna
operation.
say it.
I'm not gonna allow operation sa aking...
But did you know it's reversible?
I know. Sinabi din doon. Pero ayokong... Pag tumingin lang ako sa baba ng building na ano yung ano ko eh. Nalalamig ako eh. Real talk.
Okay, so...
Hindi kasi takot ako sa operations. Yun ang takot ako sa dextrose,
okay,
takot ako sa cryom.
Yeah. But would you say that it's better for men to be the ones regulated?
Tama. Yeah, kasi pag ligation, bubuksan eh. Sa lalaki mas okay. Kung hindi ako takot sa operation.
And you want to have kids anyway.
Yeah.
So it's
pero
okay.
nakadalawa na, ayaw na kayo madagdagan. Pwede mong maging conversation.
Pwede ka naman patulugin eh.
Kaya. Pagising ko eh. Alam mo yung pag binata ka, yung bagong...
Tuli.
Imagine attorney.
Nagpapalda ako ulit.
So, that's all. Papatulugin ka, diba? Pagising mo, biglang ganito, boses mo.
Kapalda ako ulit. Grabe naman.
No, but there really is a need for further educating people
like
about
yun, nalaman
that.
ko lang lahat yun nung ikakasal na ako.
See? And you're 29.
There's a misconception, and I've heard this from men older than you.
Yeah.
Ito yung mga engineering dati sa work ko before, na ayaw daw nila magpa-vasectomy kasi if they do it and hindi lalabas, puputok daw yung balls nila.
Hindi ganun.
Fear-mongering.
Alam mo, may isa pang, ito naman totoo
Kasi
to.
yung nila, hindi, totoo nga. Kasi saan pupunta yun? I'm like, my God.
Pero ito ang totoong concern dyan, no? Yung bang sensation before, would it be the same?
Yes.
Diba? Yun ang isang tanong.
I can't say. I don't know.
I know, I've had it. I've had 3. I've had 3 vasectomies.
Ayun. So, kaya hindi ako open kasi ayoko na operatan.
Okay, that makes sense. That's like
So, I'd
people who
rather-
don't want plastic
Maraming
surgery.
choice eh. Parang 10 ata yung pinakita sa aming tools eh. Meron pa nung parang beads. Bibilangin mo, dito mo bibilangin kung red
Beads?
days. Doon yung parang bilangan. O itong pag-day na to, okay, hindi mabubuntis. May mga ganon.
Menstrual abacus.
Ganon. Yun. Parang ganon. Bibilangin. Ito, hindi na pwede kasi ovulating na. Okay ako doon. Pero doon sa...
Snippy snip.
Hindi kaya.
No. Okay. Kasi it's like a basic math problem, right? A woman can only have 1 pregnancy
Per year.
Yun ang healthy daw.
1 pregnancy per year. And in those 9 months, a man can impregnate an unlimited amount of women. Diba? So when you think about it, it's more efficient to put the responsibility of birth control on the men. Diba?
Makes sense.
Makes sense. Kasi why us? We can only get pregnant once a year.
Yeah.
Diba?
That's true.
Saka delikado. Sabi ko sa babae, sinasabay. After mabunti. After magpanganak, papaligate na.
Oh yeah. I had a friend do that.
Oh, really?
And she didn't tell her husband.
Oh, wow.
It's just that she's like, tatlo na, babe.
Yoko na.
Tatlo na. And the guy's like,
Gets.
Yeah.
Yeah, but vasectomies are actually birth control in general. Kasi since we covered abortion, if we truly want to stop the need for abortion, so that, diba, it hits all birds with
Yes.
1 stone. Sorry, not bird. It hits all
Iba
the birds with 1 stone.
Yeah.
Where, the religious people who are concerned about the moral implications, yes, totally. It covers that. No more abortions.
Correct.
The teenage pregnancies and all of these things, the women who have to resort to wire hangers.
Yeah.
Diba?
Grabe yun though.
Yeah.
Extremes.
She
but
almost
yes.
died. I know this yaya.
Yeah.
Because she was the yaya of my neighbor. And I heard the story myself. That's how I know.
Yeah.
So hindi lang to hearsay. Sinabi niya sa akin.
Okay.
And it just, when you think about it, contraceptives will stop all of those things.
Yes.
Diba?
Yeah.
So I think it's something that we should not only be not afraid of, but also embrace.
Correct.
And we should not underestimate the power of knowledge.
Yep.
Yes, I agree.
Diba?
Because I find that a lot of people are having a hard time with this because sex itself is still very taboo. Diba? You talk about it.
Parang
Parang
sex. What's
Diba?
sex?
What's that? It's birds and bees. But because that is very taboo, it's hard for
Okay.
people to get educated. Kasi you say sex pa lang, ay, bold. Bad yan. Bad yung bold, right?
Yeah.
So I think people need to embrace also that sex is a natural part of life. That's how we're here. We're here because of sex, right?
Nag-kiss lang kasi magulang natin. Di ba nung bata
Did you
tayo?
know your parents had sex? Did you know that?
Nag-kiss lang.
Nag-kiss lang.
Nag-kiss lang. Ganun nung bata.
And then the stork arrived.
Yes.
Yay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the sooner we can accept that sex is a natural part of life, the sooner we can.
So would that be your closing statement? What
Yes.
would your
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah. I would say that the world needs to embrace the fact that sex is a normal part of life. And because it is, know more about it.
Yes.
Know a lot more about it.
Yeah, I agree. How about you, Tony?
Sa akin, kung mas gusto ko na contraceptive kaysa yung unplanned pregnancy. Kasi mas malaking problema yun. Yun ang closing statement ko.
Totoo. For me, my closing statement would be having kids is such a big change. I feel like people underestimate, diba? I feel like people underestimate that when you have a child, it's going to change you. It's going to change your priorities. It's going to change even who you are. Chemically, something happens, diba? So this is a decision that you can't make lightly because you do have to plan for it. It'll affect your finances, your family relations, your time, everything.
Career.
your
Yes.
career, your body, your relationship with your spouse.
Yeah.
Diba?
Number 2 na yung spouse mo eh. Number 1 na yung bata eh.
I disagree.
Yes.
Ay,
Ooh.
ganun. Anyway, sabi sa akin eh.
I disagree. I'm gonna make this scene. I'm glad that you mentioned it
Okay.
because I wanted to talk about it kanina. I think it's important for your kids to see a solid relationship.
Okay.
You're not gonna make them feel like they're second.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You don't tell them, second ka lang sa asawa ko. But you make them feel that your spouse is your priority so they
Okay.
can see what it's like to have a
healthy
solid,
relationship
healthy
is.
relationship. And the both of you
Okay.
support your children.
Yes.
Diba? That's what I've seen is
Okay.
the best way daw eh.
And this
Which
is
I like.
also you coming from parents who split up.
Split up.
So that
Yes.
makes sense.
Kasi if you make your kid your priority and then pag-aawayan niyo yung kid, yung ganun, diba? Dapat
Yeah.
unified front kayo.
Wala na kayo ng time para sa isa't isa.
Yes.
Yes.
And then if you're, parang it'll affect your, if your marriage is not good, you're not going to be good parents. I feel. I don't know. I'm not a parent yet. But this is why we need to think about it while we are not parents.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to figure things out
freestyle mo.
when it's already there.
Yeah.
Bahala na si Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Call back.
Call back.
Hey.
It's hard to prepare for parenthood, for sure. There are things you will never be ready for, but it's good to try to do your research
Yeah.
in the beginning.
Prepare as much as you can.
Diba?
Okay.
And if you don't want to be parents, take steps to do that. And I think it should be available, an option for people. If they don't want to be parents, believe them. Don't force them into having kids because the last thing you want are people who don't want to have kids having kids.
Yes.
Because that's not healthy. So contraception, research, and open-mindedness, and I don't know, whatever else that people learn from this episode. I don't know,
Empathy.
whatever.
Empathy. So
Dami ko
thanks so
sinabi.
much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. This has been another episode of Point of View. We'll see you next time.